90.1 FM, this is KPFT Houston. Now, more of Queer Voices with Jack Walensky and the entire Queer Voices crew.
Hey! Sing if you're glad to be gay. Sing if you're happy. This way.
And this is Brian Levinka.
Summer Iman.
And
Rowan, two sisters.
And tell us, Rowan, what organization you're with this evening?
I'm with SUP.
And SUP stands for what? That's an acronym, of course.
Yes, it's a very fun acronym. I wanted it to sound kind of like a not like a gang sign or a symbol, but I wanted to say it with like enthusiasm. SUP. So SUP is support, understanding, patience for partners.
Okay, and this is strictly for transgender partners, partners that are transgender or about to become transgender?
Sorry. I'm sorry, Summer.
Go ahead, Summer.
Yes, well, it's for people whose partners are going through the transgender experience, which includes a variety of different things, such as transsexual, genderqueer, cross-dressing, etc.
Right.
Okay, so how do people find out about you?
I guess they go to the TG House website.
Okay. Or
they meet somebody, or they look confused, or they have a partner who's transgender, and then their partner acts like they need more support or something, and then...
So what are some of the major issues that people in this group find, or issues they have with these type of partnerships?
Mostly your partner changes, and it can be an intense experience, and the group is designed so that we don't lose it over the small stuff, right? So that's what it's for. So we can look at each other and laugh about common tension points.
So you're in it for love, and it doesn't, you still love the person, although they may go through this drastic change.
Right, and I need to be clear here that I met my partner, Trey Johnson, after he was already in the middle of the transgender experience. So a lot of people find it very challenging to stay in a relationship, say they've been married or in a relationship for many years, and then their partner learns more about themselves and finds out that they want to change their gender or whatever's going on with them. And so a lot of relationships don't make it. So
what happened when he told you?
Well, I already met him as Trey. So he wasn't... he was already Trey to me, so it was okay. Or maybe not okay is not the word I'm looking for. It wasn't as shocking or challenging because I'd always known him as Trey. Mm-hmm. But that's not the case for many relationships. So, and even me coming in, meeting Trey as Trey, still needed extra support. Mm-hmm. So I went to the TG Center and said, hey, I think you guys have a support group, right? And they said, oh, no, it kind of fell apart. And because I am a veteran of almost any 12-step program you can find, I said, oh, I know how to run a meeting. Let's get this going again.
Right. So it's open to males transitioning to females and vice versa.
Right. It's the group is for people who have partners who maybe in a third gender, which could be that they don't identify as male or female. It could be whatever on the gender spectrum or even on the sexuality spectrum. But it's for partners to get together so that we can understand and support each other. Because a lot of times when your partner transitions or does whatever, explores wherever they need to go on their personal journey, the partners stand around trying to be really supportive and, watching the bathroom door and did you take your shot, honey, and all this type of stuff. And what we really need to do is stand back and love the partners a little bit more and support each other. We can get real wrapped up in the process of our partners and forget about ourselves.
Right.
So this understanding and patience for partners, that's not so that we can be better partners to our partners who are having their experience. And so we don't lose our shit over the small stuff.
And so what can you tell our listeners that are out there that are going through this? I mean, what's some tips or hints that you can give them?
Don't take everything so seriously. That's really the biggest thing, because you can lose yourself. You can just get so wrapped up, and your partner can be so kind of lost and looking to you to be an anchor stone, and you can lose yourself in that. So having a great sense of humor, coming to the meetings where we can look at each other and laugh and talk about the soon-to-be the same tension points come up over and over again, like as your partner transitions from one gender to another, or even maybe camps out in the middle. There can be like, what kind of clothes do they wear, or does their voice deepen, or whatever, and those can be really disconcerting, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to, as a gay man myself, to be in a relationship.
I didn't know.
Well, to be in, let me tell you, and the listeners of Queer Voices, to be in a relationship with a man for several years, and then they identify as a woman after 5-10 years, that is very turn your world
Oh my
upside
God,
down.
You'd be straight.
I know, yeah. I signed up to be with men, and now I'm in a relationship with a woman. So, how do you handle that from the partner who's not transitioning? How do you counsel them on that?
Well, we don't counsel. We just listen to each other and pass out tissues and laugh. But that was a topic in our last meeting, and a lot of us, we went around the circle and we said what we identify as, and the one that seemed to fit the most of us was either queer or not straight, because we don't quite, are you a lesbian, are you a dyke, are you, are you gay, or what? And we just ended up saying a lot of us that were queer or not straight.
Yeah, queer just is kind of this umbrella of the spectrum of sexuality.
Because what if your partner is third gender or in the middle, not quite sure, and exploring that?
Talk about the third gender. What is that for?
A third gender is when somebody doesn't feel completely comfortable in a female body and not completely comfortable in a male body. So some folks, either starting as female or male, being born into that type of body, and I don't have a lot of experience with intersex, so I'm just talking about third gender on the spectrum here, that maybe they start to transition and say take testosterone or estrogen, and I don't know a lot about female to male, but whatever hormones they take, that maybe they don't feel completely comfortable, and maybe they're more in the middle, like a nebular area. I know lots of women who produce a lot of testosterone, and I know men who are just about as soft as they can be, even, in their skin, feeling how the hormones must be. I'm a body worker, so I feel a lot of skin, so I can notice that difference. So what if somebody is in the middle and they prefer not to have a pronoun as male or female? What if they prefer just their name?
Right.
And so that's the third gender, and a lot of times that's real disconcerting, even so much so as going through the drive-thru at McDonald's and asking for the toy that has the lion instead of the girl toy or the boy toy. What if it's the middle, the third gender, right? It's not the polar, it's the gray area in between.
It's the gray area.
Yeah, we've talked on the show before about how in other cultures there are spaces for people that don't fit the Western male-female binary.
Right.
Be it within some Native American groups, two-spirited, or there's the Hajra, I think, in India, and in Thailand, the Katui, and there's different spaces in different cultures, and this country doesn't really have that sort of understanding and set up in our general sociology for that. So being with someone who's going through that experience or finding themselves feeling to be in a not one or the other space, it's difficult for the for the individual themselves. It's probably also difficult for the person they're with. How does their identity affect me?
Right. I was totally blown away. I've been with women, except for that one time, my whole life, right? And so then I met Trey, who was identifying more on the male spectrum now. He's more in the middle and the third gender now, but for a while it was male, and my first thought was my stepmother is going to be thrilled. Really?
Like, oh, a man.
Right. And then a common concern for some trans folks is they don't want to change on their driver's license for fear of just whatever could happen, right? So then I would never have a legal marriage to a man. So then it's like, then what do you tell your parents? And my dad, bless his heart, just thought Trey was like the coolest, gay converted man in Montrose, for, being with his lesbian daughter. And then so now that we're more in the third gender area, now what do we do? And that's one of the things that we would look at in SUP. And we mostly don't find answers or solutions. We just share and laugh a lot. And that's the beauty of SUP.
Now, how often do you meet?
We meet once a month, and it's normally the fourth Saturday of the month, and it's from 6 to 7 at the TG house. And we've talked about, we're a relatively new group. We started in October. I think we've met twice because of the holidays fell on Saturdays. And we just instantly meshed really strongly. It's been a really fun group, and we like to do more things that are social together.
And where's the TG house for our listeners that may not know?
Oh, I think it's on Pacific Street.
It's 604 Pacific Street.
I knew Summer would know that.
She's good with numbers like that.
Yes.
Look at that girl. Yeah.
So if we have listeners out there that are in this situation, how can they get in hold of SUP?
I think the TG Center has a website, and we have a contact person, and we have a Google group or Yahoo. I can never remember.
It's Google.
Oh, Google. Thank you. See, she's so good with details. And because we're such a new organization, we don't do a lot by phone. It's more like come in, meet us. And if somebody was in crisis, I think they would contact Lou Weaver, and he would probably put somebody in contact with
the master. Yeah.
Right. He's a good networker. He's a hub, Yeah,
we love Lou here on Queer Voices.
We love Lou.
Yes. So do you have any events coming up besides meetings that our listeners should know about?
Oh, no, I hadn't thought about one. What do you think would be fun? We could maybe do a Rocky Horror Picture Show where we could...
Fun, or like a dinner or something?
Yeah, we have lots of events at the TG Center, and if somebody certainly was feeling under-supported or wanted just anybody to listen to, that would be a real fun time to get to know each other. Food is always a bringer to people,
Yes, it's a magnet, pulls them in.
Right.
Summer, any other questions?
I'm just thinking, so in your own experience, have you found any books or literature to be particularly informative to people in the situation?
Oh, that's a really good question. I'm a voracious reader, and I'm also a writer, but I haven't really done much in this department. I've mostly just fumbled along and then developed the support group. But I know that my girl Boston is starting a book called The Gender Book, and Trey and I had been recruited or approached to write the part for partners. So I think that will be coming up, but I know that you can find The Gender Book on Facebook. Gender Book on Facebook.
Just do a search on that?
Yeah, and they just received a grant, and my friend Boston, who identifies as third gender, I believe. I'm sorry, Boston, if that's not your truth. But she is working on the Gender Book and had... I think also Robin Mack had been working on it and had approached Trey and myself about contributing to that. And that's a fabulous little book about just... it's still in the brief, it's almost like a zine, it's really cool. Or zine, I might not be cool enough to say that right. But,
yeah, I think it's zine.
Oh, zine, excuse me, see, Summer gets a zine straight.
We don't
the punks are quite, determined that it is zine.
Okay, well, let me be down with the punks, that's right. That is why we're all punk rock, it's sup! But it's a zine about... the right pronouns and concerns, or how to be more down, I guess, with third gender and that type of stuff. So Gender Book on Facebook could use some support, and our girl Boston, so she might be, or he, or whatever that middle gender. See, I apparently need to look at the book. I need the book. Where's the book, Boston? I need the book.
Yes.
So, would it be like here, like that, like HIR?
Who the heck knows? Let's get Boston on here and she can tell us. So
yes, that's a whole other show topic there.
Yeah.
Right, but that's the type of thing we talk about in SUP. Like, what pronoun do you use? Your mom gets you on the phone, then what do you say?
Exactly.
That type of stuff. And I don't have the answers, and I don't know that SUP has the answers, but I know that we laugh a lot, and I know that supports our nervous system, and that we're not so tense, and then we're better partners to our partners, and we're better partners to ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know that for people going, or for partners of those who are going from male to female, there's a couple books that deal with that. I think it's one is My Husband Betty, and the other is He's Not the Man That I Married.
That sounds hilarious.
Oh, no, She's Not the Man That I Married.
That sounds so funny. Gosh, I wish I'd come up with that. That's great. I know that there's a lot more literature and that type of thing for male to female, and F to M. I just don't know that much about it, except for that I love Trey Johnson, and that's what got me here. Trey was funny. He pointed out that all the partners I'd had previous to him all are rather androgynous, and I never caught that they all, are women who are pretty butch or look like men, or
they're closer to the third sex, maybe.
Yeah, or just we're kind of migrating toward, like a lot of them would bind and, dress very masculinely. And when I was married to Robin, from behind, people would always run up and think that she was a really cute gay dude, and then she'd turn around and then there she was with her obvious chest and be like, whoa, wait a minute.
It's a melding, we're all moving towards the center, I think.
Right. And I never even picked up on that until Trey mentioned it. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? So apparently I've been doing this a lot longer than I thought. And so really, I don't know much about the different literature or the different support or whatever. I just know that I'm real lucky to be in Houston, Texas, where the TG Center is, and that I'm real lucky to been able to start a support group where we had 8 people or 7 people show up the first time.
And I think it's important that you're happy and that your relationship is going well, and you're happy and you can help others too.
We're engaged.
Engaged. There you go.
Check it out.
Well, is there anything else you want our listeners to know about SUP? What is SUP again?
Support, understanding, patience for partners. I want everybody to know that when your partner goes on a journey, that's their journey, and that you can support them and hang out, but please don't lose yourself. And if you feel like you're losing yourself, please come to one of our support groups so we can buddy you up with somebody, because we want everybody to be happy.
Very well said.
Well, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, and you're listening to Queer Voices.